Welcome back. This is the fourth video in a series called Everything You Need to Know About the Emotion Code but Didn't Know Who to Ask. So if you've been watching, you know by now that everybody has trapped emotions. So today we're talking about why does that matter and how does it affect your health. Hi, I'm Hession. I'm a medical intuitive and I'm an energy healing practitioner. I'm a certified emotion code and body code practitioner, and I am an expert about the emotion code. If you haven't already, you may want to watch the first 3 videos in this series, or another great resource to better understand what a trapped emotion is and how you ended up with them is my What is Emotional Baggage video. In a nutshell, a trapped emotion is a trapped, stuck ball of energy. It's resonating at the frequency of a certain emotion like anger or grief or shame, and it got stuck in your body from some time in the past, maybe many years ago. You can read all about this in Dr. Nelson's book, The Emotion Code, which I highly, highly recommend, and there's a link to that below. What I'm going to go into today is why it matters that we have these trapped emotions and how they affect your health. And then in the next video, I'll get into how they affect your whole experience of life, not just your health. But let's start with the physical. So a trapped emotion is a ball of intense energy. It's vibrating at the frequency or resonance of a particular emotion. So how does this affect your physical body? Well, one way to understand this is to look at a principle of physics that's called entrainment. This principle was discovered way back in 1665 by Dutch physicist Christian Huygens. If you aren't familiar with this principle by name, I can assure you you're very familiar with it in practice. You just didn't know that that's what it was called. So simply put, it's the tendency of 2 oscillating or vibrating objects to end up falling into sync with one another so that they vibrate in harmony, in sync. Huygens discovered it by noticing the odd phenomenon that 2 pendulum clocks that were oscillating at different frequencies, when placed on the same board, they would end up syncing together. You see this in nature. You see it with flocks of birds. They start out flapping their wings in their own rhythm, but within a short time, flying together, they entrain into the same rhythm. You see this if you strike a tuning fork and it's near another tuning fork of the same frequency. The second fork will just start to vibrate on its own without being struck. We've all experienced this when we're walking with someone else. We don't initially have the same gait or speed, and there's like a bit of a physical awkwardness at first, right? You remember, you can relate to that. But within a short time, our steps just kind of synchronize and we can walk smoothly together. There are many studies out there showing how the principle of entrainment can be used to alter our brain waves. And here's an experiment you can try if you want. Without telling someone that you're with, notice their breathing pattern and whether it's faster or slower than yours. Begin to follow their breathing pattern until you match it exactly. And keep doing that, just breathing when they breathe for a few minutes. And then intentionally speed up or slow down, if you'd rather, your breathing pattern, and you will see that their breathing will start to match yours. It's fascinating, isn't it? So you can summarize the entrainment principle this way. Any 2 vibrating bodies will entrain if they're exposed to each other long enough. So what does this have to do with trapped emotions? Well, trapped emotions are intense, trapped emotional energy, and they are vibrating at the resonance of a particular emotion. Let's say anxiety. So having that energy frequency stuck in your body will entrain the cells of your body, especially the organs or glands or other tissue that the trapped emotion is near to that same frequency instead of a more healthy one. It creates a distortion of your energy field in that area of your body, which in my experience can cause pain, dysfunction, inflammation, lowered immunity, and much more. Remember that everything in the physical universe is vibrational in its nature, and healthy cells vibrate at a different frequency than unhealthy ones. In some cases, this entrainment to the unhealthy vibration of the trapped emotion will cause problems very quickly. And in other cases, it may take much longer. Like anything to do with our health, there are always a lot of different factors. So let's look at that. You may have this trapped emotion affecting a certain area of your body, let's say your lungs. But maybe you're also doing some good things to support the health of your lungs. You get aerobic exercise regularly, and you live where you have clean air. Well, that trapped emotion probably isn't going to affect your lungs as badly as it would if you are a smoker or you breathed in a lot of toxins recently or never got any exercise. It makes sense, right? There's always lots of factors. What I have found is that most human beings have at the very least hundreds of these trapped emotions. I think sometimes a lot more than that. Not all of them are causing us big problems right now, but some of them at least undoubtedly are contributing to any current or chronic health issues that you may be dealing with. Think of this. Our doctors and health authorities are finding more and more that stress is one of the biggest factors in creating ill health and disease. And we all see the truth of that. But what's the actual mechanism by which stress is affecting our health? Have you ever asked yourself that? So consider that trapped emotions and training ourselves every day to negative, heavy emotions like anxiety and anger and depression and grief and abandonment. Maybe trapped emotions is one of the answers to that question. So what kind of results have people gotten from having these trapped emotions cleared and released from their bodies? Well, one of the most common results from releasing trapped emotions is relief from pain. There's so many stories of people who have had chronic pain, sometimes for many years, that has been relieved, or in some cases has even disappeared in minutes just from clearing trapped emotions. I know it sounds amazing, and it is. And it happens a lot as this extraordinary healing method, the emotion code, gets out to the world more and more. Lowered immunity is another big one. Your immune system is not able to function optimally with trapped emotions negatively entraining its glands and organs and tissues. And when the trapped emotions affecting your immunity get cleared, it's amazing to see people's bodies start to heal and to stay well. Digestive problems, joint, back and neck pain, infertility, chronic migraines, inflammation, respiratory issues, heart problems and wounds and injuries that haven't properly healed, allergies and food intolerances, skin issues, eczema, psoriasis and rashes, you name it. In my experience, there isn't any aspect of our health where trapped emotions don't come into play. And in some cases, they're actually the single biggest contributing factor. So your body really has an incredible ability to heal if the conditions are right. Trapped emotions are discordant energies that are creating the wrong conditions in your body, blocking its natural healing processes. When they're cleared, it can be really quite astonishing to see how powerfully and completely your body may be able to heal itself. This is pretty cool stuff, huh? Join me for the next video in the series, How Do Trapped Emotions Affect Your Life? To find out how these trapped emotional energies have been influencing everything about how you experience your life without you even knowing it.